I know you're talking about Shakur Stevenson, who was live tweeting during this show tonight. Do you feel like after a performance like that, you're ready for that level of fight?
Oh, yeah, because Shakur is not Renee. Shakur don't got the power like Renee. He don't got that dog in him. So, it's going to be a very one-sided fight, in my opinion. But we'll see. When the time come, I'm going to back up what I got to say.
Did I read this correctly? Correct me if I'm wrong. But that because you've been in camp with obviously like Shakur, Stevenson, Devin Haney, that you did some damage in sparring?
I'm not gonna speak on sparring, but I'll just say I'll give you some good content. I'll just say it was sparring that made me realize that these guys aren't really who they say they are, and that.
The familiar face Shakur, he was live tweeting throughout your fight, so how soon do you want to fight like that?
Soon.
Yeah,
Next.
very soon.
Next, I hope now that he showed he's vulnerable, it will give them courage to step in the ring.
Yeah.
So I hope that's what happens.
In my opinion, Shakur don't got no power like Renee, so I'm ready. And it's actually funny, I looked up at the thing and I seen the tweet. I was about to start laughing, but I was like, you know what, I gotta stay focused.
Hey, at what point did you...
You want me to be brutally honest?
Be brutally honest. He made up some lies.
Yeah, he made up some lies because, I went all 3 rounds. I was tired, but I still kept pushing. But them first 2 rounds, Devin couldn't even hold me. I even buckled him in the second round. They got the video.
Damn right.
And
Damn right. So let me clear that. He said he buckled him in the second round.
Whole
Third round,
entourage got quiet too.
it's church mouses. Okay, we don't normally tell about our spawn, but he called us out. So my son wanted to defend his honor. But let me tell you, I know Tank can't beat him. I don't know what else to say to people. I'm trying to give Tank a chance because once he get his grown man strength, I feel bad for people in 2 years when his body get fully developed. So I'm giving Tank a chance. Tank is naturally 180.
He's not 180. He's not 180 pounds.
No. In Miami, they weigh us before sparring, and they weigh you the same day. Literally step on a scale 176.
So come on, Tank.
Y'all can't tell. Tank never had a 6-pack in his life. You never see Tank weigh in with a 6-pack.
I dedicated my life to the sport. I'm not scared of nobody. I don't think nobody fears him. In my opinion, I should have got the fight before Lamont Roach, but that's just my opinion. Who knows? Maybe next year.
What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know boxing coming back here, try with another one, man. So we got Floyd Schofield, who is kind of going back and forth, or actually not necessarily going back and forth, but fighters are kind of criticizing him over the performance that he had in his fight last night or whatnot. And I wanted to go ahead and break it down and talk about it a little bit, give my opinion on it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. So, as we all know, Floyd Schofield was in a tougher than expected fight. All right, he recently, if you guys were watching the pictures that were posted on this video of this verified Twitter account, he recently stated that the fight was scheduled for 10 rounds, but then they changed it to 12 rounds right before the fight, as they were in the dressing room, and they signed for 12 rounds or whatnot. In my opinion, I really that does play a role, but at the same time, it's you kind of signed up for that. You shouldn't have taken that. I don't know why. And y'all excuse the wind if y'all hear that wind in the background, but I don't know why they would have done that at the last minute when you prepare for 10 rounds or whatnot. I know a lot of people though, when they have a 12-round fight, they do spar just 10 rounds, and then they go from there or whatnot. But it is what it is. You signed it, you handled it or whatever. I don't really have an issue with that. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't feel like I don't have an issue with his performance. I mean, he was in a tough fight. Yes. Did he look like he was, the best 135 pounder? No. And I still to this day, I've always felt like since he came on the scene, I felt like he's gonna have to prove. I never felt like he was really the best at 135, but he has to prove himself. He kind of reminds me of a more polished Sean Porter. But you know, it is what it is, and I'm not upset, or I'm not gonna be harsh with his criticism due to the fight. I think what a lot of backlash comes from the stuff that he's been speaking about as far as sparring with guys like Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and I want to say Keyshawn Davis as well. I just feel like you know, a lot of people are criticizing him because of the pedestal that he and his father have placed himself on. And when you place yourself on that pedestal, you have to be very careful, because people are really, all eyes are on you now. And if we're gonna keep it 100, let's keep it 100. You know, the main reason why people are focused on Floyd Schofield is because of what he's been talking about during those sparring sessions or whatnot. You know, hurting Devin Haney, getting the better of Tank Davis, getting the better of Shakur Stevenson. Y'all excuse my background. It's you know, it's kind of like you kind of put that you kind of add that extra pressure on you when you have that type of when you talk about yourself like that, and when you kind of expose things or whatnot. Now if he wouldn't have said that, I feel like he still would have, if he wouldn't have said all of that, I feel like he still would have been criticized. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is. All fighters have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all fighters have to go through those moments where, you know, you're in a fight. I actually just did a video about this, where you're in a fight with an opponent that's not really expected to push you, but they always push you. Like, who would have thought Emmanuel Augustus, especially if you look at his record, right? Who would have thought that Emmanuel Augustus would have been the one to push Floyd and make Floyd give Floyd his hardest fight? According to Floyd Mayweather, you know, he stated that was his hardest fight. You know, nobody would have thought that Luis Collazo would have been the one to hurt Keith Thurman, first person to hurt Keith Thurman to the body, and, you know, kind of show and exploit that Keith Thurman really doesn't like punches to the body. You know, just, you know, who would have thought that you know, nobody would have thought that Jeff Horn would have given Pacquiao a tough fight. And even though I feel like Pacquiao should have won that fight, I feel like that fight was a lot. It was just a lot closer than what we expected or what we anticipated. We didn't think that Jeff Horn would give Pacquiao that type of work, or Sergey Derevyanchenko would have gave Triple G that work. You see how that goes, where I could just name a list of fighters where they all have those performances where it's like they're against somebody where it's like, damn, I didn't think that person would be the one to give you a tough fight. Terrence Crawford and Jose Benavidez Jr. You know, like it's, you know, so I'm not upset about that at all, man. It doesn't take away from him. It doesn't mean that he can't be a great fighter. I just named a list full of great fighters who have been tested and had a tough fight against less opposition, or somebody that maybe we just didn't see as a potential threat. You know, Tank Davis to Isak Cruz. You know, but even though Tank Davis hurt his hand in that fight, you know what I'm saying? It happens, you know. So you know, I don't judge him too hard. You know, it's one of those things where you learn from it or you don't. And now we're about to see what he's really made of. We're going to see how he comes back from this. And, you know, I believe he can, bro. I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't able to watch the entire fight because I was mainly focused on Oshaki. I was really excited about his fight, and I know that fight came on, his Floyd Schofield's fight came on a little bit later, but I had to do my video for Oshaki. I was very happy with him. But, you know, when I came in, you know, he was getting some dog work, bro. And that's what you need. You got to dig deep. At some point in your career, bro, you're going to have to dig deep, bro. It's just going to happen. And, you know, from what I saw, it wasn't a robbery or anything like that. You know, the dude came on strong in the championship rounds. Once again, maybe Floyd Schofield was just not prepared for that. And again, that you know, it is what it is. It's one fight. All right, you know, that's the important, that's, you know what, you remember when I was telling you guys that the reason why fighters should be more active? Because of situations like this. Now, if Floyd Schofield fights within, November, shout out to the Scorpios, my birthday November 8th. So, if Floyd Schofield fights like January, February, people gonna forget all about this fight. You know what I'm saying? So all he needs to do is just get right back in the motion, get back. You know, he needs to stop focusing on Shakur and them right now. I do feel like he still needs to build himself, more so focused on, you know, maybe I would still love to see a fight with him and JoJo Diaz or something like that. Him and Tevin Farmer, or yeah, I know Tevin Farmer's trying to fight Williams Zepeda, but just throwing out opponents like that, I would like to see him in there with and you know, build himself, focus on building himself, because I just think right now it's just a tad bit too soon. He's almost there, but it's just a tad bit too soon for him to fight the champions. All right, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?